I've been using the Oppo Reno 2 for a while now, and so far I'm liking it. The phone is pretty tall and big like the Pixel 4 XL, but the buttons are placed really well. When I'm holding the phone, the power button and the volume rockers are already placed on my fingers, so that's a really good pro for me, especially having small hands. When I first got the phone, these options were turned off, but as a tip, I would actually turn on tap to wake, pick up to wake, and you can draw specific letters to do a specific command. And these commands can be useful for some people and you would have to get used to it, but when I was vlogging at CES with the Oppo Reno Ace, I just draw a circle on a lock screen and the camera just turns on. In terms of performance, it is good for most people out there. I mean, the chip is not as powerful as flagship models, but doing basic stuff like Facebook, Instagram, messaging, and watching YouTube videos, all these everyday tasks, it's good enough and it's really smooth. For speakers, it is surprisingly pretty good for a mid-tier phone. I've actually experienced more expensive phones with more of a tinier and thinner sound, so these are pretty good. In terms of the UI, I actually don't mind using it. It's still not my favorite, and it's more on the themed side than stock side, but it's still pretty usable and easy to learn and get around. The only thing I don't like about this UI is that I can't swipe down to get to my notifications. And since this is a really tall phone and I have small hands, I would have to reach all the way to the top to swipe down. And coming from the experience of a Pixel phone and a Samsung phone, they have these commands, so it makes everything so much easier and more natural to get to my notifications, but not on the Oppo. Face detection works really well when you're outside or have some sort of light on your face, but when it gets really dark out with basically no light, then it's not gonna work. The fingerprint sensor works just fine, and it's pretty cool that you can choose different animations to actually show off that logo. But if you're using it in a really dark environment, it's pretty bright. Now, speaking of brightness, this phone does not dim as dark as other phones. Now, it is a pro that you can actually see the screen from like a sunny day outdoors, but when you're indoors and all the lights are off, you're about to go to sleep, the lowest setting is still too bright for my eyes, so it actually hurts. Now, moving on to my biggest con about this phone, and that's the vibrations. I think it sounds really cheap, like an old Nintendo 64 controller cheap. Every time it vibrates, it's pretty loud. If you have it on a table, it rumbles. If you have it in your pocket, you can feel your whole leg vibrating. Every time when I hear it, I can just imagine the motor spinning, and when I'm typing on the keyboard with the haptic feedback, it vibrates so much that it was just too annoying for me, so I turned it off. Now, moving into the camera, I think this is one of the best natural looking cameras you can get on any phone. The camera UI is really simple and minimal, easy to use, and all the modes that they offer is basically just the necessary ones, so there's not much going on to it. Now, even though it is a good camera, there are some little things I don't really like about it. First is the performance in low light. It's kind of sluggish, and every time when I hit the shutter button, I can actually feel the lag. It's really small, but it's a difference from day and night. Second is the stabilization. I just don't feel like it's consistent all the time, but I do notice it happening more often when I'm in low light, in portrait mode, or in 5x. And lastly, it has to do with the video. If I'm shooting in 4K and I want to switch to ultra wide mode, it switches to 1080, which is fine since it doesn't support it, but if I want to go back to my regular lens, it stays at 1080, so I would have to manually go back to the settings and switch it back to 4K all the time, or every single time when I switch to the ultra wide angle lens. And I feel like the resolution should go back or switch back to 4K, so it is a hassle if you do shoot a lot of video and you switch between these two lenses. So overall, this is a really good phone, especially for the price and the performance you're getting. I do enjoy the shape of this phone since it's a bit more narrow than other phones out there, and my thumb can reach across the screen, therefore I can type more comfortably. The camera is really realistic and the colors are pretty close to what you see with your eyes. And also, you do get a lot of lenses for this price. The pop-up camera is pretty cool, and I don't think it would change the whole selfie game, but I do like how it's out the way and there's no notch, there's no punch hole, so all you get is just a big screen when you're watching videos. So I would recommend this phone to anyone out there unless they don't like strong vibrations that could wake you up in the middle of the night. That is my review of the Oppo Reno 2. I do have links down below if you are interested in checking this phone out. Please follow me on Instagram, give a like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.